If 2020 was the worst video game of all time, then 2021 would be the most dog shit DLC ever released. This last year saw some of the most bizarre news to come out in recent memory. Corona cases are still on the rise, with variants and vaccine reluctance keeping us in a perpetual state of Stockholm Syndrome. Billionaires are taking turns escaping to outer space, while NFTs of cute anime girls and apes have taken the internet by literal storm. The UN declared a code red for humanity in the face of global climate change. Squid Game happened, and shrimp tails were found in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, remember that? That was back in March. A lot has happened this year, but luckily for weebs around the world, 2021 has actually been pretty generous, giving us a consistently steady flow of content straight from the shores of Japan itself. So, let's take a stroll down memory lane and look back at anime in 2021. If anime had a winner this year, it had to come from Studio MAPPA, who had arguably the most insane 3 months of coverage of any anime studio ever. Not only did they wrap up the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen earlier in the year, but they also released Attack on Titan, the final season, at the same time, with plans to release a Jujutsu Kaisen film at the end of the year. This would go on to garner a lot of attention, as simultaneously the studio seemed to be the poster child for quality, kick-ass animation, and Satan himself for not living up to the expectations set by Studio Wit before it.
Oh, God!
Then, when the smoke settled, they released internet freaked out. Everybody was talking about Chainsaw Man. I talked about Chainsaw Man. My buddy Toto talked about Chainsaw Man. MAPPA was trending on Twitter. It was great. But fears of overwork quickly set in, making it obvious to anime fans everywhere that the current pace of anime production may not be sustainable. Anime fans took to the streets, petitions were raised, new laws protecting animators were quickly established, and over the course of 2 months, anime had been saved. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, things are still awful. Movies came out in a big way this year, with films like Demon Slayer Mugen Train smashing its way into international theaters in the beginning part of this year, and proving that the power of cute demon emotos not only kick ass, but also get that cash. Fuck. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 also released this year, definitively wrapping up a journey spanning 26 years of multiple installments, side stories, fan projects, manga adaptations, collaborations, games, and much, much more. The result of which left many people wrestling with the finality of what had become a story that seemed like it may never have a conclusion, and then questioning if that conclusion had lived up to the desires and expectations of generations of Eva fans, myself included. To see a story like this, something as momentous as what Eva was, come to an end, left a very somber and melancholic feeling in the pit of my stomach. It was something that I didn't know if I could say goodbye to after it had been part of my life since the beginning. Studio Ghibli released its first ever CGI film. It shouldn't have. It really should not have released this movie. SAO released a fucking thrilling retelling of its original Aincrad arc, recreating and fleshing out the story through Asuna's golden, dreamlike eyes. Boku no Hero had a movie come out, and most of you are not subscribed. Yo, what's up with that? Click the subscribe button, bro. 2021, like the years prior, was defined by its seasonal anime, which once again was dominated by the Isekai genre. Now, with most of these being forgettable trash, the clear winners of the Isekai clusterfuck boiled down to just a handful of names. Starting off this year, Re:Zero offered up a beautiful story of growth and development for Subaru in what was undeniably a fitting conclusion to a character arc that we saw begin and come full circle over the course of 2 spectacular seasons. That time, I was reincarnated as a slime entered its second season with some huge shakeups to the world that introduced twists and turns that an anime only, like myself, might not have seen coming. While the second part of season 2 dragged on far too long, with a conclusion that I found less than satisfying, Slime still proved to be a major contender, introducing us to Slime Diaries as well this year, which slowed things down and let us meet some of the characters who may have otherwise been sidelined in the explosive battles that dominated parts of season 2. Mushoku Tensei surprised everyone and no one when it released in the beginning of this year and solidified into a juggernaut of a franchise in no time flat. Introducing some truly compelling characters with clear lines of progression and growth, and a world that is so lovingly expanded upon again and again, it's clear that the love and attention to detail in this show goes beyond just the smooth as butter animation. When watching something like Mushoku Tensei, it's easy to look at the individual components of its parts and say that it's something you've seen repeated 1,000 times before in just Isekai alone. But just like watching a world-class athlete or artist distill their work to the point where even the simplest of movements become refined to the point of perfection, Mushoku Tensei takes aim and makes their shot consistently over and over again.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day.
Anime originals exploded onto the scene this year with shows like Vivi, Sunny Boy, Odd Taxi, Skate, The Heike Story, and Wonder Egg dominating the conversation around series that went under people's radar and offered up something different from the generic girlfriends and isekai fodder that flooded people's feeds. These stories attempted to say something different, pushed the boundaries of animation and storytelling, and while not always hitting their mark, landed among some of the most memorable and noteworthy additions to 2021's roster. Odd Taxi being many people's anime of the year, and Skate to this day still being a sleeper hit that not enough people have appreciated. X-Arm! That was the joke that I wrote for this segment. It was just saying X-Arm like that, because the show was a joke. And because there's just way too much anime to cover, I'm gonna hit you with some of my favorite standout shows of the year. Komi Can't Communicate hit the ground running late in the year, introducing us to a story with such passion and heart that it's clear that it's being given the same treatment and loving attention to detail as Mushoku Tensei, with character identities so lovingly crafted and breathtakingly easy to get behind that by the end of the season you'll be wishing you were sitting beside them, singing along and wishing the season would just never end. Dragon Maid proved that the folks over at Kyoto Animation are still here to impress after the tragedy of 2019 left us wondering if the studio would be able to recover. With incredible artwork and some of the best fight scenes in anime this year, the story of cute dragon waifus doing everyday normal shit but better is back and better than ever. Jolene and JoJo's Part 6 is out here making people redefine their favorite JoJo part and question their sexuality.
Alright, I don't suck dick, okay? I never have. I don't even like JoJo.
In an action-packed thriller of a season that sees our newest JoJo up against powerful foes while trapped in a prison full of misfits, weirdos, and other stand users. Araki is at his most creative so far since his original introduction of stands in Part 3, and it shows in just how bizarre and captivating this season of JoJo is. Nagatoro-san established that all you need to do to make a popular anime franchise is to have a smug-faced anime girl tsundere herself to hell and back, resulting in one of the fastest viral outbreaks of anime PFPs on Twitter and YouTube since Rem and Zero 2. Netflix continued to try to get in on the anime game and disappointed everyone with its adaptation of The Way of the House Husband, Record of Ragnarok, and its insistence to drag Seven Deadly Sins deeper into the pits of hell. They greenlit and then canceled the live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop after less than 2 weeks of airing its first season, while still having the balls to announce with confidence that they will faithfully adapt Eiichiro Oda's modern-day 1,000-episode spanning epic One Piece to the small screen, proving once again that the folks over at Netflix will license anything and ruin everything.
What did I say? Tell them to bring me my money.
In anime adjacent but not actual anime news, Arcane proved to everyone that the best thing about League of Legends is anything except playing the, actual game. Star Wars Visions was the first good piece of Star Wars content to come out since the Clone Wars animated series, and Castlevania is still fucking cool. Trash Taste continued its domination in the YouTube anime sphere from the year prior and began their season 2 in July with a move to a new office, new setup, and new arguments that spawned memes, parodies, and debate over what could be defined as anime content on YouTube. The The trickle-down effect on the community as a whole could not be understated, as various YouTubers, big and small, couldn't help be affected by the trends set by this podcast. Friendships were tested, society was redefined, and boneless is the superior form of winged meat. Do we really have to fuck? Komi is Anime of the Year. I dropped Tokyo Crybaby after 5 episodes. Ranking of Kings need more viewers. And guys, that's it for me. There's absolutely no way I could have covered everything that happened this year in one video, and I definitely left a lot out. So let me know what I missed, and tell me what your Anime of the Year was in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a great 2022, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.